Hey folks, welcome to Clipsy's Bricks. And today we're going to start a new MOC. So following all my previous builds, I've decided I want to go into kind of a new direction a little bit. And to start, I got the Creator 3-in-1 Downtown Noodle Shop set 31131. And we're going to use this as the basis for this new build. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this together. Looks like it's a fun little build. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about what I got in mind. So stay tuned. So we got obviously the 3 instructions, nothing too bent, I'm not going to need those. And a small little sticker sheet. So let me get to it. And I'm back. Great little build. Took me about 2 hours. I built it over on my Twitch stream on Tuesday night. Usually start about 8 p.m. Eastern time and go to around 10 if you're interested. Anyways, like I said, great little build. Great use of the few stickers that the set does have between the street sign, the great noodle sign, as well as the menu. There's a couple other ones underneath here. Let's see, just on the drapes, flags, and then of course on the ice cream bike. Like I said, I really am a big fan of these Creator 3-in-1 sets. Between the price point, I think this one was about $60. I'll tag it. You can't really go wrong. There's between getting the 3 different builds, there's just so much potential. As you usually get to, there's a buildable dog, buildable bird, and then just to see in the back. So obviously it's missing some. You can fold them up, but or you can change the orientation, go with inline. But my thought is to put it on to a regular base plate, to kind of integrate it into my city, using the 32 by 32 standard dimensions. I'm going to do something a little bit different though, and I'm not going to adhere to the modular standard as far as space back from the edge and whatnot, and we'll get into that as I move forward. Initial thoughts, something I'm going to do, I think I am going to change these orientations, so I'm going to move the door and whatnot up forward, move the stairs and the upper door back. I think that's my first initial change, so I'm going to get doing that and making some changes, and I'll probably, while I'm at it, add in the a little bit in the back here. So I will be back. All right, first off, you're going to notice I did change the base to light blue gray. Also, what I've done is I've dropped the first 4 studs down a plate. And we're going to come back and we're going to fix something, because I realized the way I did it, when they picked this up, it's kind of bends a little, and I want to reinforce that. So we're going to fix that. But so as I talked about earlier, so first thing I did, I changed the positioning of the portion with the door and the stairs, and swapped them. So now you have a little window looking out over where the sign is. I also, with the second set, built the Bike Shop Alt version and placed it in behind the Noodle Shop, and spacing wise it worked out perfect. I have not built the floors out, but just to show you how things are going, obviously, yeah, I still got to clean up some things. But just kind of trying to get some general layout of where things might go. So obviously still need to build some walls. So as I mentioned, this is something I've been thinking about for a while. Kind of a new way of thinking about how to build buildings for a city setting, but not in the modular style, or at least not adhering to those modular rules and going with smaller builds. You've seen it a little bit in some of my previous builds, like the tattoo shop and drugstore, where you get two buildings on one base plate, and they're smaller for the most part than that minimum of 16 studs, although the tattoo shop, I believe, is actually 16 studs. So I wanted to go even smaller than that. And some of my rules are, you can see here is, so the first thing was that a build has to be a minimum of size of 8 by 8. I'm looking on an 8 by 8 plate. The 3-in-1 modular, or 3-in-1 mini modulars, if you want to call them that, I think it's about 10 studs wide. So this would fit, but dimension wise, you got a minimum of an 8 by 8 up to say a 16 by 16 max, but I really want to keep them even less than that, like 12, like 8 to 12 studs width is kind of what I'm going for. That's rule number one. Second one I'm still deciding on is whether or not, just like the 3-in-1 sets, is going with an open back style. Third kind of rule is the base plate has got to accommodate some kind of road or alleyway or sidewalk or something. You've got to have some kind of pedestrian or vehicle access route, so you can't build right up to the edge. Number 4, and I'm still debating on this too, is whether or not floors should be modular and easily removable, or this kind of goes back to the open back. So I'm still thinking about that. Let me know what you think. Should I require that you be able to remove the floors in the modular style, or do you think having them blocked in and then just some kind of other separate ability of the to gain access into the areas will work? Floors, I guess this is the 4th rule. The floor should be at least a minimum of, say 6, like a door height here, 6 to 10 bricks in height. And along those lines, the building, or each building, should be, 2 to 3 floors in height. So there should be 2 or 3 floors for each building. That's kind of my guiding philosophy here to what I'm thinking.
And most importantly, rule 6, please like and subscribe.
Of course, this isn't set in stone, but I wanted some kind of, something to think about, to at least as I work through how I want to develop these builds, some kind of guidance to kind of keep some, I guess, standardization between what I plan to build. That said, let's get to fixing this base plate. Now, I'm not worried about being able to see a little bit of the orange through the crack here because I'm going to tile this level, and then of course we'll have a curve up here. So if anything, you'll see the light blue gray, you will not see the orange. And by adding those 1x2 or the 2x2 tiles and stepping it down this way, this now gets rid of that flex that I was feeling, because I had before, I had just left the 1x2 brick with the 2 1x2 plates stacked, so there was no consistent joining, so it was a flexion point. So fix that all up. All right, from here I'm going to see about doing something back here. Stay tuned.